Today we're going to be talking about electric guitar EQ. We're going to talk about the major areas that are probably of interest when you're EQing an electric guitar, and as well as giving you an example of EQing an electric guitar bus inside of a song. Without any further ado, let's dive straight into the tutorial on how to EQ your electric guitar. Part of this series that I'm doing, I also created two different guides for you to help you out as you're moving forward in your journey of mixing systematically. So the first one is going to be an EQ guide, which gives you all of the basic understanding of where the areas of interest when you're EQing each and every single instrument. This is just a guideline, but it also gives you some tools that you can use to understand what's actually wrong with your instruments and your tracks as you're diving into EQing various instruments. And then the second guide is a guide on compression. This is basically a 101 guide on what compression is and how to use it effectively. It goes through the 4 styles of compression so that you can understand exactly what I'm talking about throughout this series. So make sure you pick up both of those guides. You can find the link right below this video, or you can go to mastering.dinosaurdogstudio.com. Today we're going to continue our series on EQ and how to EQ various instrument buses. So today we're going to be talking about electric guitars inside of our mix here. So we're going to follow the same exact process we followed in the last 2 videos on both our drum bus and our bass bus, starting from the top. Is going to be listening to our track. So our electric guitar in this mix is a little bit quieter. There's a lot of guitars in general in this song. Just to make that stand out, I'm gonna boost it by a lot. So I'm gonna say, let's just pick 8 decibels, for example, on our electric bus. And then we'll listen to it, establish what our goal is with the rhythm electric guitar, then apply some tonal EQ. So let's get our EQ here. First step, listen to it in context and establish what do we think that our intention is with this electric guitar. Okay, so to me, the electric guitar sounds a little bit just raw, mid-range noise. Muddy a little bit, so I want to bring out a little bit more clarity in the electric, a little bit more sizzle and shine. I want it to kind of cut through the mix a little bit more for these electrics, so it's a little bit too round. That's going to be my goal here. In order to do that, we're going to check out our instrument EQ guide. Let's go to the electric guitars, distorted electric guitar. We wanted to bring out some of the crispiness, and so it looks like the crispiness is around 5K or so to bring out some of the brightness of the guitar. It doesn't cut through the mix, so we might want to think about boosting somewhere in the 2K range in order to cut through the mix a little bit more. Our guitar doesn't sound hollow. We don't have too much or too little low end. And this has already been high passed, so we don't really need to worry about that. The true areas I'm going to be worried about is really this high end and then also this kind of 2K range in order to allow the guitar to cut through this mix. So I'm probably going to have about 2 different boosts inside of this area and maybe a possible cut down here in the mids to bring down some of that muddiness in the guitar. But let's start on the top end and then work our way down. Okay, so I think I like the change. The one thing I'm kind of missing in this is some of the high end. There's really no high end in this electric at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tape machine to this, and I'm gonna change the bias to high. So what this is going to do is it's going to add some additional saturation to the top end of the guitar and actually essentially create more frequency information in the top end. I might play around some of these other settings, see if I can get something that I want out of the guitar. Let's actually solo this and see if we can dial this in a little bit. This is gonna be fairly subtle in terms of just adding a little bit of saturation, but I'm gonna dial this in without EQ, and then I'm gonna add the EQ to see if that actually helped or not. Okay, so I think I like that change. Really like that subtle saturation in the top end. It really is gonna add a lot more definition to that guitar. So my next step is going to be gain staging this to ensure that I have the same volume going in versus out. So let's go before. It's about 30. That should get us there. We'll just cut off a little bit on that. So now let's A/B it. So that's the next step, is to determine whether we actually like the change we made or not. I am going to close my eyes. I'm going to click this back and forth so that I don't know if it's on or off, and then decide which one I like better. So I actually have to trust my ears in order to establish whether I like the change I made or not. Allow me to make a much better, more objective decision for this part. Yes, I do like this change. It adds a lot more just crispiness to that guitar, allows it to cut through the mix a little bit more without being muddy. So I approve of this change. What we learned today in EQing our rhythm electric guitar is that, first of all, we followed our same process that we have so far. We listened to the track, determined what our intention is. We then made adjustments to that, gain staged it, then we A/B tested it to ensure that it met our expectations and the intention that we originally had for that track. And then lastly, if there's not enough frequency information, we can add other effects like saturation, distortion, compression to actually add sonic information to the track in order to actually achieve what we want with our EQ. Stick around for the next video because we're going to be covering acoustic guitars. So don't forget to subscribe to be notified for those next videos coming up, and turn on the little bell icon to be notified of those videos to help you get professional mixes. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.